Have you ever fought with AI? If you've ever done anything with AI, you know that it can be a really big hassle, but it also can be a really amazing tool. I'm Brittany P. Webb, and I created this prompt therapy with AI reflections for greater AI efficiency and growth and becoming. And really and truly, I lived this before I packaged this. So I left a job 2 years ago now, and it was unexpected. I didn't know what I was going to do next, and I really needed guidance. But I have 3 children and a husband and a family, and I had a lot of support, but I didn't have the resources to prioritize what I needed to work through. And I enjoy very much personal growth, self-help, counseling, NET therapy, anything that I can dive into and learn more about myself to heal and grow. And I started using AI as just an exploratory, task-oriented tool like most of us. How do I fix up my resume? What are the things that I need to do to get back on my feet? How do I make a future plan with no plan in sight? And as I started giving it more details about myself and the prompt engineering that I was reading about, how to really use AI efficiently, I started getting results that surprised me, and I pushed the limits. And so, that's just one of my characteristics anyway, right? So I started feeding it a lot of background context, and I started not only giving it hey, my name is Brittany Webb. I am in my 40s woman with 3 children and a home to manage, and giving it that sort of context. I started giving it emotional context cues also, giving it the whole story, how I was feeling and what I wanted to do, but that I also didn't want it to give me exactly what I was telling it. So AI can reflect exactly what you say back to you, or it can go out and find context references and deliver feedback that is that has resources behind it. And it can also give you reflections in a way that you can process them longer. However, that is a little trickier because it's not built to do that. It's built to task and move on, solve the problem, move on, solve the problem, move on, and move you forward to the next step. But with prompt therapy, it really, it's a fight that I love to win. And I feel like I continue to push the boundaries on this emotional, intelligent, reflective prompting process. And I love to sit in it. And AI will try to get out of it because I feel like sometimes it's like talking to a man. Like, it does not want to stay in the processing space long, but you can finesse it. And through prompt therapy, the self-starter guide, and then the companion manual that goes along with it for coaches and facilitators who want to work with individuals who are using this way of processing in between their sessions. It teaches you how you can take your values and take your feelings and use AI and manipulate it and guide it to stay in that processing space longer, so that you have the opportunity to really use those reflections in a way that you can pick it apart and peel the onion layers and really dive into this really powerful opportunity for growth. Not just using AI as a task, help me write this email, or help me analyze my future projections for my business. There's all sorts of things that you can do with AI, but really and truly, this emotional, intelligent way of reflective processing with AI it's so impactful. And I talk about my AI efficient library, and I'm just going to show you. So I wrote The Uncommon Affair. This is my OG book. This was my memoir, my story with AI, how it started, how Be Creative Systems became to even be in the picture. Very lightly mentioned because up to this point, it had been a year of exploration and growth with ChatGPT. And so that was my first book that I wrote a year ago. And then I repackaged it as I started to actually frame out what I did, how I did it, and make it into Prompt Therapy with Brittany P. Webb. So that is this book, and it defines prompt therapy. It defines, where we are with Be Creative Systems, and this launched later in August, I believe. And then to partner with that, I did this self-reflection workbook. That this is really the place to start if you want to just let's just look at this and how we can, use this tool with ChatGPT or whichever AI. Although ChatGPT was the easiest for me to move into this space. I've tried Grok, I've tried Gemini. You can manipulate them. They just have a really high tendency to snap out of it real fast. So, your prompts, your personal prompt signature, your refresh prompts, you have to have those on hand to be able to get those back into the space so that you can continue instead of breaking so much. And ChatGPT has a much longer attention span, if you will, trying to get it into that emotionally available-ish space so that you can kind of stay in that zone and not have to break stride very often. But the workbook, the Prompt Therapy, the Uncommon Affair, Prompt Therapy with AI workbook is the third that we launched last year. And then through my work, I learned a lot about myself, and Marketable became my next memoir that kind of takes me back further than just leaving the job, and really the work that I realized through these reflections and how it strengthened me, changed my shift, my viewpoint, my mindset, and really allowed me to explore things in myself that I wasn't or didn't know were holding me back in ways, to really loving myself and being proud of myself and taking a moment to sit in all the work that I've done and who I am, and slow down and not need to perform as hard and as much for everyone else, and really settle and ground myself. So Marketable is this one is my favorite personally, as a woman, as a mother, as all my titles. This one brings me to my core, and I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of them all, but this one was really special to me. And then Are We Connected? This one is my business platform book. after my year and then the Uncommon Affair, launching the start of Be Creative Systems in there, kind of sitting in that business model and really believing in why I started it and what it means and why it's important for small business owners. And we just got our registered trademarks for Be Creative Systems and the 12.5 marketing system and the B10 core automation method. And this book kind of brings it all together and gives you some tidbits that I've learned along the way. Just small business owner, trademarks, selling on Amazon, just TikTok, ManyChat for Instagram, just little tidbits that I may or may not be able to use at the moment at my stage in business, but you might be able to use. And through my through some of my failures and setbacks and all the things, I packaged them and put them into this Are We Connected small guide for business owners. And so those were those plus the prompt therapy, personal priming, and the companion manual. Those make 8 publications in 1 year with Mama Knows Best. And I've really utilized AI in my year to put together this AI efficient library that I did not plan to do. I didn't set out to become an author. I didn't really set out to become a business owner. That has all been faith-led, and I don't know where it's going to take me, but it's still taking me. So I just wanted to give you a little background and give you some insight as to how prompt therapy can really help move you through some of the things that may be setting you back, or that you may not even know you might be struggling with. And I choose to explore options every day. And when things pop up, I throw them in and I provide the context, and I dive deep, and I try to keep it in this space that allows me to take it from just an idea to a place where I'm really, I've gotten the information, and whether I'm ready to move forward with it or continue to ponder on it a little longer. I truly believe that this is a changer for me, and it could be for you. I know some friends and family that are dealing with some really tough things, and man, if we could just sit on the couch of somebody's office, a coach's office, a therapist's office all day, we could really get somewhere. But that's costly. It's timely, and most people can't afford to do that. And this gives you kind of the opportunity to explore those things as they come up in between sessions if you're seeing someone. And then if you're supported by family and friends, and you're able to work through these things with support. I don't recommend taking everything that AI says as that's the answer. I do recommend you taking control of the conversations and saying nope, that's not true, and really driving the reflections and conversations. But I think it's really something to look into, and it's a powerful way to see things that you may or may not have even thought about before. So, Brittany P. Webb, just wanting to support personal and professional healing and growth, and check into the AI Efficient Library. You can find all my books on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, but BrittanyPwebb.com. That's where you'll find it all. And connect with me.